Welcome again, students, to part 3 of the CAD NATA 2021 preparatory sessions. It's great to see your enthusiasm and interest in the architecture course, and it's clear that you are working hard to ace this exam. I assure you that we at CAD will do our best to help you in all your efforts. Part 3 comprises of verbal reasoning and situational judgment. Verbal reasoning tests are basically designed to measure the candidate's understanding and interpretation of written information. In all levels of education and career, you require advanced verbal skills, such as the ability to understand written documents, to draw accurate and logical conclusions from different texts, and communicate information to others in a very clear manner. When you are taking such aptitude tests, you must always rely on the information that is presented. The purpose is to test your deductive reasoning and not your general knowledge. There are different components of a verbal reasoning test. The different types of questions can be as follows. It can be true, false, cannot say, MCQs or multiple choice questions, comprehension deduction questions, analogies, syllogisms, and the English test that is based on the English language. A passage is given followed by a statement in the true, false, cannot say questions. Key strategy here is to read the passage. Then you read the statement. Later, you relate the statement to the information given in the passage and answer based on the following reasoning. The statement is true if it logically follows the information given in the passage. It is false if it does not logically follow the information given in the passage, and so it is incorrect. Cannot say or impossible to determine should be chosen when the passage is neither true nor false, and there should be more information given in order to determine the accuracy of the given statement. This example shows you that a passage is given and that the answer choices are true, false, and cannot say. Basically, the key word that is to be noted here is used to serve. The correct answer in this example is false because the Hastings line not only served as a way to transport miners and passengers then, but it also still does. Multiple choice questions in a verbal test are those in which one answer has to be chosen out of multiple choice given. Now, the questions are based on statements of brief passages which are comprised of a few sentences. Now, the candidate's goal is to determine which is the most appropriate option based on the given statement. There are various forms of questions that may be asked, and the most appropriate should be chosen. Sometimes a single answer that is incorrect will be asked as the question. So it's very important to read the questions thoroughly and understand what exactly is asked of you. In this example, you can see that of the 4 options, one option should be the synonym of monopoly. So the correct answer here is a single option B. Comprehension deduction questions are those in which the candidate will be given a text of varying length and complexity. Following this, a number of questions are given which allows the examiner to analyze the candidate's understanding of the language and the words in the text. Sometimes the candidate may be asked what the main idea of the passage is. Sometimes a logical title for the passage should be chosen from the choices given. Or the questions will be based on the vocabulary proficiency of the candidate with respect to the context of the passage. The key strategy here is to read the passage once carefully, then read the questions and find keywords in the question that you can match in the passage. Now reread parts of the passage related to the question to find the appropriate answers from the choices given. Sometimes you have to work back and forth between the questions and the passage. In this example, you can see that a passage has been given and 4 questions follow the passage. These are all multiple choice questions wherein you have to select the most close answer. Analogy questions involve a pair of words that are present in a statement followed by four different pairs of words. Here, the purpose is to determine the logical relationship between the given words and then choose the answer in which the same logic is followed. In order to arrive at the correct answer, it should be very necessary that we focus on the type of connection that is there between the pair of words. In such questions, there are many types of commonly used connections. For example, you have the degree of intensity. That is, the second word is equivalent to the first and only differs in intensity. For example, racism is a very intense form of intolerance. Cause and effect. The second word can be caused by the first or vice versa. Destruction is caused by bomb. For example, ambition and success. It is success is caused because a person has ambition. In synonyms, both words have similar meanings, so we are familiar with synonyms and antonyms and so on. Item to category. That is, one of the words will constitute a category and the other word acts as a suitable item in that particular category. Like one of the colors is blue. We know that antonyms have opposite meanings, so we have to choose a pair that is opposite in meaning as far as each other is concerned. There are many other types of links which include a combination of several types of the links that we have mentioned above. The strategy here is to closely observe the pattern and the relationship between the words given in the question and see if the same relationship exists between any pair in the answer choices given. It's very important to pay attention to the order of words. Sometimes the answers which appear to be of the same logic may be false because of the words being presented in a different order. The grammatical form of the words also have to be noted because that will kind of decide what the answer is about. The easiest way to find the connection between the words is by creating a sentence and applying these two words in the sentence. Now, then you should insert the closest answer in the same sentence and see if the meaning does not change. You have to make sure you check all the possible answers because more than one word pair will match the sentence. And then you have to frame another sentence that has a narrower link between the two words. In this example, grain, salt. These are the two words given. Grains of salt. We've heard of this phrase, grains of salt. So salt is made up of grains. Similarly, the correct answer is D because glass is made up of chips of glass. Chips of glass and grains of salt are the phrases that we use. So this is the relationship we should look for. Syllogism. Syllogism consists of two propositions called premises, and there is a third conclusion that is deduced from these two premises. The two premises are the major premise and the minor premise, and the third sentence will contain the conclusion. This is deduced from the two premises before that. The consequence may be valid or invalid. It's normally invalid even though the premises are true because the outcome or the conclusion does not correspond to the statement of the first two exposures. Let us see an example of what syllogism is about. There are two statements given here. All pens are pencils. No pencil is a cap. Now, we have to remember that we have to use the information that is given and we should not look at how it works in reality. If these two statements are true, what is the most logical conclusion? All caps are pencils, some caps are pencils. So we have to check if these conclusions are true based on these statements. Now, let us convert these statements into graphical representations. If you see all pens are pencils in this representation, and no pencil is a cap, so they are not related. From this, you can easily make out that both these conclusions are not true. So the right answer is D. That is, if neither one nor two follows. Tests in English generally check vocabulary, grammar, conjugation, spelling, etc. They may take different forms. In the sense, you may have missing word statements or spelling mistakes in sentences or different tenses tenses that you have to correct. Now, there are various types of question categories for testing proficiency in English. One is definitions. You need to find what the definitions of a particular word means or what a phrase means. In this example, you can see that make it up is close to what bluffing is about. So the answer is A, bluffing. Synonyms, we know what it is. That is, you should be able to substitute a term from the choice in the sentence without changing its meaning. In this, the direct synonym of semblance is asked for. So we know that semblance and image are synonyms. In this example, we have been asked to choose a synonym pair. That is, with two words which mean the same. So intrusive and evasive is the correct answer because they are synonyms. Paronyms are those in which words are of different meanings, but they are of similar forms and have almost the same spellings. These are some examples of such paronyms. Antonyms are words that have meaning that is opposite to each other. Homonyms are words which have the same spelling or pronunciation but different meanings and origins. Address means speak to in another context, whereas it means location in totally another context. So similarly, we have many other words like air, band, bark, and current, which are homonyms. Some questions, like the odd one out questions, are very common in verbal comprehension tests. In this, there will be a series of words and you have to find the odd word out. In the second example, you can see that letter is the odd one out because letter is a method of communication, whereas the others are methods of payment, currencies. Now, situational judgment tests present candidates with situations and ask them to evaluate several courses of action that a person can take in that particular situation. It aims to test your character and skills in different situations and how you handle those situations in conflicting scenarios. It also gives an idea about your personality and how you stand as far as ethical issues are concerned. It can be presented in different forms. Mainly these four competencies are tested on. That is your communication skills, teamwork, decision making, and people skills, because these are very important in your career. Situational judgment tests can be given in a variety of different ways, and candidates are asked for their response in such situations. It can be the most and least effective type, rated responses, ranked responses, or the likely to perform responses. Another version of the situation test is the reaction test, wherein you are given a situation and how you react in a normal day-to-day situation will be queried on, and the most apt response should be selected as the answer. For example, you've reached the railway platform to catch a train and you see that the train is about to start and you have not bought the ticket yet. So what would be the right thing to do? Four options have been given. You catch the train and inform the TTI in the next stop, or you wait for the next train, or you don't enter the train at all without any ticket, or you rush to the train and then when the TT comes, you hide yourself in the toilet. Here the answer, most logical answer would be option A, because you don't want to be late, but you want to catch the train. So you catch the train and then you inform the TT and pay the ticket at that point of time. The thing is, if you get caught, you would be fined. So the most ethical option would be to enter the train and make sure you make the payment for the ticket. That is option A. Another form of situation tests are puzzles, situation puzzles, wherein you're given a set of circumstances and you have to find out what's going on. So it is a form of a riddle, and these are also called lateral thinking puzzles. And normally they have multiple solutions because they are very open-ended. But there is one often one best solution for each puzzle. In this, you have to really think outside the box And the clue is you can look for words that have multiple meanings because this can be a hint to the puzzle solution. These two examples have been given in NATA 2021 first exam. And you can see that in the second example that is shown here, a murderer is asked to choose a particular room in order to decide which manner he can be condemned to death. So the choice is given to him, and the first room is full of fire, the second is full of assassins, the third is full of lions that haven't eaten in 3 months. You have to really think carefully. And then when we realize that lions that haven't eaten in 3 months may probably be dead. So the most apt option for the murderer to actually escape his sentence is the third one. So that is the logic for the answer and the selection of this particular answer. Now, there are lots of other types of questions that are given in these verbal reasoning tests that include jumbled sentences. Parts of the sentence will be jumbled and you have to arrange them to complete the meaning. In this example, you can see that there is a sentence, parts of which have been given as options, and you have to find the right sequence to make complete meaning in the sentence. Some other types of questions will have spelling or grammatical errors in sentences, and you have to select which part of the sentence has a grammatic or spelling error. Similarly, many other questions will be given. A combination of skills that we have discussed will be tested. Some of these questions may crop up in the students' minds when you're preparing for these verbal reasoning section. That is NATA generally testing verbal reasoning in all the previous years? Not really. This is the first time NATA is testing verbal reasoning skills in the question paper. Does this section include architectural vocabulary? No, the verbal reasoning questions test aptitude in the English language. Architectural words and words related to building components, design principles, etc. will be covered in the other sections. Why are there so many comprehension passages in the first paper? Is it really necessary? This was a very popular question asked by many. The reading comprehension test checks how well the student can read, interpret, analyze, and decode information. And this is a skill that is basically employed by architects and many other professionals throughout their education and career. So I guess it was thought important that this section should be included in the current question paper pattern. This brings us to the end of part 3. To continue your learning, please visit part 4, which covers inductive reasoning. So finally, I would like to wish you all the very best for your NATA preparation. Thank you for watching.